Caving like a pro is not nearly as hard as it seems, but it all starts with the right preparation. For example, using the right hotbar layout. As you can see, I have my preferred one on screen now, starting with my bow, my sword, my pickaxe, my shovel, my axe. Then I like to have a water bucket in case I run into any lava. I like to have my food so that I can keep myself healthy and regenerate health whenever I need to. I've got my blocks to be able to pillar up or block off walls, and I got my torches so that I can light my way. You've got to create your own that works for you and then stick to it to create that muscle memory. On top of having the correct hotbar set up, there's a couple of other things I like to make sure I always take with me down into the caves. Namely wood and coal, because as you get farther down, you're going to need more torches and coal stops spawning far before you're going to be finding diamonds. Next, like I did here, I always like to make sure that I light up all of the areas around any ores before I go ahead and collect them, so that I can make sure that I won't get attacked by anything while I go about collecting them. It's also important when you're mining your diamonds that you dig all the way around them to make sure there's no lava underneath them or to the side that's going to go ahead and ruin your day and cause you to miss out on those good, juicy diamonds. But since all of those diamonds tend to stuff up my inventory, I always like to make sure that I bring a pickaxe enchanted with Silk Touch so that I can make sure I don't clutter up my inventory with all of the ores I'm going to be mining. As both lapis and redstone can drop an incredible amount of drops from one block using Fortune 3, you're better off using Fortune up above when you have somewhere to put all those items. Alternatively, if you don't have a pickaxe at the moment, crafting some redstone and lapis blocks can help save you on a little bit of inventory space as well. Next, don't underestimate the power of the shield, because it is incredibly helpful when you run into skeletons or creepers to make sure that you can actually get up and attack them without losing all of your health during that fight. As an old school Minecraft player, I never really used to use my shield very much. It took me a long time to get used to it, but seeing as you can deflect pretty much anything, it is fairly helpful when caving. If you ever come across a spawner like this, your best option is to rush in and light it up as quickly as possible before giving the mobs an opportunity to spawn and take you out. When it comes to crossroads like this, you have a couple of options. I generally prefer to rush through, placing torches as quickly as I can, and then heading back the other way and clearing it out as well. However, if you want to be a little bit more cautious, you can always block it off or make sure there's no way for mobs to get up to you as you go the other way. I always recommend when you get your first enchantment table that you go ahead and find a safe area to block yourself off from any enemies and start enchanting all of your armor. There is really no reason to wait until you have a full enchantment set up, because the protection 1 that you can get with a level 1 enchantment is often more protection than you can even believe. I also recommend throwing a quick sharpness 1 on your sword, power 1 on your bow, and efficiency on any of your other tools. This is going to help you withstand just a couple more hits than you normally would be able to. When you find yourself in a situation like this where you've got quite a few enemies chasing after you, I always find it helpful to run back to a safe area and take them on one at a time. You may even block the wall off, and if you're really hurting, then you might find yourself a little corner somewhere and try to block yourself in until you can regenerate that health. So just like this situation, this is a situation where I would want to go over here and block myself in until I can regenerate my health and take on those mobs with a full set of hearts. As your inventory is inevitably going to get filled with all of the ores you're picking up and all of the junk that you'll collect, I always find it helpful to bring a shulker box, if at all possible, to store all of your goodies in. Another good option is an ender chest if a shulker box is not available, or even the two of them together. You just have to remember that you can only break your ender chest with a Silk Touch pickaxe, so don't bring an ender chest and break it with another pickaxe, or you will not be picking it up, and then you'll be a little bit sad. One of my favorite tricks for caving is to use a night vision potion. This is going to help make everything light and easily visible. Of course, I still recommend using torches. Even though you can see everything, this will help light up the area in case you need to find your way back, and it will also help to make sure that no mobs spawn around you. Now, one of the biggest tips I have when using this night vision potion, and even in caving in general, is to make sure that you continually look up, because a lot of times players will forget to look up and they'll miss diamonds such as those that are sitting in the ceiling because they've been too focused looking directly in front of them. One of the biggest tips that I could give is to not ignore water caves like this one. Sometimes it seems like they're really hard to deal with, but it's actually a great way to find ores because of the ways that ores spawn. There's a lot of ores that will spawn in this water visually for you to be able to see through, and having that night vision helps a lot. So I think if we go ahead and swim through this water, I'll be able to show you what I'm talking about here. As you can see, there's 3 diamond ore deposits right there, all really close together and really easy to see because of the night vision. And here is another one just right around the corner, and another one. So this is a fantastic way to find diamonds, and it pretty much never fails. If you can find one of these big water caves, definitely go inside of it. Like, seriously, the amount of diamonds I just found is ridiculous. Look at this. Just don't forget to come up and get some air. Having Depth Strider 3 on your boots and Aqua Affinity and Respiration on your helmet will help out with this quite a bit. Next, I highly recommend turning on subtitles. This is going to help you be able to identify where things are coming from. So you'll find this in the music and sound sections right here, show subtitles. You'll want to have that turned on, and it will display in your bottom right hand corner any sounds that you hear. It will let you hear mobs through rooms and point you in what direction they are, as well as lava. It'll also let you know when you've got things coming towards you that maybe you hadn't quite heard yet. So we've got a zombie here, and it's gonna let you know what direction all of those things are coming from. So if you're using your speakers, or if you're like me and you use only one headphone because you've got a 2-year-old child you need to listen to, yeah, it'll help you too. But before you go caving like a pro, I highly recommend you watch the video on screen right now. That is the first episode of my hardcore Let's Play, and you'll be able to see a little bit of me going caving and experiencing some of the dangers you might be about to face yourself. Love you guys, and I'll see you over there.